Alright, man, listen up. This, of all the things in my channel, is, I think, the most groundbreaking, the most useful, the thing that'll probably elevate your game the most, because I'm going to explain what's going on, but there's a lot of things going on in this video. But, I mean, as far as jumping goes and athleticism goes, there's other resources for that. I'm just integrating various things I've learned, but I've never seen anyone really talk so explicitly about either top palming or seams control, which is what this video is all about. If you're not watching it in 1080p, you really got to, because you got to follow the seams of the basketball in this video. But let's tell you about what's going on. I made a video on this a couple months ago, but I want to definitely update my progress on this every couple months, just so you see how I improve at this, and just to keep it fresh in your mind that this is probably something you should be doing. First thing I'm going to say, I'm practicing in a mirror. You can't see the mirror because I'm facing it, but I practice in a mirror because it allows me to keep my head up. Whenever you practice without a mirror and you're practicing handling, anytime you're doing something difficult and you lose the ball, you'll have a tendency for your head to go down. This creates a real muscle memory of your head going down, and that's an issue because in a game, if your head goes down, you're losing the field of vision of the basketball field. So you just got to keep your head up. And practicing in a mirror allows you to practice very advanced dribbling moves with your head up. So not only do I not practice, and I don't think you should practice handling without a mirror, I don't think you should practice handling at all if you don't have a mirror, because it's a waste of time. It'll just teach you to keep your head down, which is a problem, right? So mirror checked off. Let's talk about what else is going on in the video. Okay, top palming, first of all. So you have an advantage in basketball if the ball is in your hand for longer, right? That way you can have an erratic rhythm of dribble, or if the defense adjusts, the ball's in your hand so you can shoot, put the ball on the floor, or pass, right? Now, if the defense adjusts, but the ball's out of your hand and you're waiting for it to come back, then you can't react. Maybe the defense will get a steal, hole will close, window for a shot or pass disappears. So the way a lot of players approach this problem is they slide their hand underneath the ball to keep it in their hand longer, right? This is why people do that. Problem is that gets whistled. It's officiated as a carry. So I don't think you should do that. We want to limit the amount of calls that are called on us so we can limit our turnovers, right? We don't want to allow the ref to just take our move out of the game. So my solution for this is the top palm, and the top palm is where you palm the ball from the top, and as the ball bounces up, you kind of stop the ball and pull the ball up. You create the illusion that the ball is bouncing, but really it's just stopped and you're picking it up in your hand. Does that make sense? That way the ball is in your hand for longer, so if the defense adjusts, you can react. The ball's in your hand for a greater percentage of the time, and so forth. Does it make sense why that's useful? I think it's pretty obvious. Now I'll say that you don't have to have huge hands to do this. You can measure your hands. My hands are about 7 inches, which is fairly average for a 6-foot guy, which probably puts my hands in the bottom dozen hands in the NBA. But I still got a pretty good palm because I've practiced. So, and even if your hands are smaller than mine, you can still get a good palm. You just have to practice. The bigger your hands are, the easier this will be, but just because your hands are smaller doesn't mean you can't do that, okay? So we're training in the mirror and we're practicing top palm. Does it make sense? This is kind of what it looks like, more full speed. If you pause, it's a violation. If you put the ball under, if you're putting your hand under, it's a violation, so you just keep it moving, right? You just keep it moving. So that's what the top palm is. Now, what I said to follow the entire video, which maybe you have been following, maybe you haven't, is the seams of the basketball. So, players shoot better from the seams. If you don't know that, you know that. Okay, everyone knows that. You shoot better from the seams when you're at the free throw line. You line up from the seams, and that's significant because how the hell do you get the ball to the seams? Or how do you get the ball to your fingertips to the seams, rather? Because in basketball, you don't have very much time. You catch the ball, you shoot it, right? You pick the ball up, you shoot it, you don't have time to adjust. So ideally, when you catch the ball, someone passes to you directly on the seams. Well, how did they pass you the ball directly on the seams? They didn't have time to adjust it. Well, what if they were controlling the ball on the seams the entire time? Is that crazy? It's obvious how it's beneficial because you can just catch and shoot from the seams, no adjustment. And as you can see from my video, it's real. It's something you can actually do. If you focus on the seams of the video from the start, if you just look at it now, you can see that the seams, I lose it occasionally, and I can usually adjust to get back to it within one dribble without looking. Because I have the mirror, I don't have to look down, I can read it through my fingertips. But the ball is pretty much on my seam, my fingers are pretty much on the seams the entire time. So that means whatever dribble combination I'm doing, when the right time appears, I can throw a perfect seams pass to my teammate who can catch it, no adjustment, perfect seams shot. Or I can pick the ball up, no adjustment, and throw a perfect seams pass. So, whether you're an NBA player or not, well, first of all, if you're an NBA player, I haven't seen most of you guys practice this, and I think you should. I think it'll make your handles practicing more efficient. And for those of you guys who are aspiring to get to that level, this is a way to get a huge advantage on, you just get you a huge advantage on the competition. Your handles will be crispier, your passes will be fresher, and your shots will always be on the seams. Your teammates will learn to love your shots and so on. So I think this is a massive, massive innovation, and I'm not keeping it to myself. I'm trying to share that as much as possible. So what you see me doing in the video is various forward moves and lateral moves and back moves. So I want to be able to do my lateral dribble on the seam, which is what I'm practicing right now. So I can move, basically space the floor. I'm always going to have my off arm up to protect, or I'm going behind my back or through my legs to protect from the reach. And if somebody's going to reach, yeah, my off arm's there, or it's protecting my body, or the ball's just in my hand so I can put it down whenever I want it. Because I'm top palming and because it's on the seam. So much going on here, and I encourage you to get a mirror setup however you do it. Here's what it looks like full speed on the seams, keeping the ball in my hand, top palming for as long as possible. Not going to get called for a carry, but also much, much, much more effective than the standard way of doing things. And as you can see, now I'm working on doing a combination into a pass. I'm working on doing all the combinations into a pass, and you can see I'm holding the seams up so you can just see that I'm actually doing this. It's a real thing. It takes a bit of practice, but not so much. I mean, once you get to working in a mirror room, your handles practice will get you like 4 or 5 times as much in the same amount of time you put in. Probably more, because you don't have to unlearn putting your head down on the ground. So you need to get a mirror setup, right? If you don't have a mirror setup, here's what you can do. Because I have I have access to these at several gyms. First of all, in my basement, I have mirrors, so you can just do that. You can buy mirrors at Goodwill for like real cheap, not expensive. Also, I have access to several dance studios. This is a YMCA. I also have the UW's gym, the IMA. And during low times, like I had to come on a Saturday night to use this, or a Friday night or something like this. There's usually classes going on, but if you go at the right times, and if you're social and you know the people, they'll be down to help you and let you dribble in there, because, you know, if you tell them you're training for something, they're not going to stop you. And then your handles practice gets way more effective, way faster, and your game just explodes. So I hope you find that useful. I hope that expands your thinking. Share this video if you have a point guard who needs this, or with friends who need this. And you can expect to see almost the same video where I see the same stuff in like, I don't know, 3 months, but I'm more advanced by that point. So, that is dribbling in a mirror, and that is practicing top palming, that is practicing seams control. This is energy efficient basketball, and we train to take over.